to introduce the Honourable Michael Keenan, Minister for Justice, and the Minister assisting the Prime Minister on counter-terrorism to present the awards this morning. Welcome, Minister.
Well, good morning, and can I acknowledge Chris as the Interim Director of the Australian Institute of Criminology. Can I welcome the Member for Denison, Andrew Wilkie. Good to see you here, Andrew. Australian Federal Police Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner, I beg your pardon, that's giving you a promotion. Deputy Commissioner Leanne Close, wonderful to have you here. Also Inspector Les Bullis representing Queensland, and Detective Chief Inspector Glynis Cameron representing New South Wales. Now, it's my great pleasure to present the 2015 Australian Crime and Violence Prevention Awards. And we should all make no mistake that crime does destroy people's lives, and the responsibility to stand against crime is one that we all share together. Over the past 22 years, the Crime and Violence Prevention Awards have recognised the achievements of those who are doing exactly that, standing up against crime, working with their community groups across Australia to reduce crime and to reduce violence within their community. This year we've had a total of 30 nominations from organisations across Australia. Central crime reduction themes amongst this year's winners include drug and alcohol related crimes, Indigenous and rural communities, offenders and victims of family and domestic violence, and vulnerable youth and partnerships. In the Australian Institute of Criminology's most recent snapshot of crime around Australia, they estimate that crime costs the Australian community $47.5 billion, and that's almost 3.5% of our gross domestic product. The most costly crimes to the community in this order are fraud, drug abuse, assault, criminal damage and arson. The Productivity Commission has also recently found that justice services alone cost the Australian government over $10 billion, with police services accounting for 2/3 of that. Crime also has enormous indirect long-term effects, such as the emotional stress and psychological scars of someone who can be a victim of crime. And of course, some crime types have lifelong effects for the victims, not just for the individual, but for the families and their communities as well. And so as a society and as a government, we can't afford to be soft on crime. And as a government, we've tried to do all we can to work in community partnerships to address crime and to address and to take tough and effective measures to assist people fighting and preventing crime. And also, sorry, I just see my friend the Member for Kennedy up there, who I didn't acknowledge before. Nice to see you here too, Bob. We've developed a roadmap since we arrived in government to do what we can to work against crime types by deploying things such as the National Anti-Gang Squad strike teams across all states and territories, to crack down on drug trafficking in particular, drug manufacturing, extortion, prostitution and firearms trafficking. We've also rolled out our $50 million Safer Streets program, which we've used to support community organisations to improve security on the ground within their communities. We know that only safe communities can be strong and prosperous, and the best way we can tackle crime is to work with community groups to stop it from happening in the first place. So crime is not just a challenge for the government, it's a challenge for us all, and I would urge all Australians to continue to be involved in working towards solutions to tackle it. Community crime prevention projects are already underway across the country, and it's great that with these awards today we can recognise those achievements. The projects recognised today highlight both the dedication of the Australian community and our police services in preventing crime and violence, and demonstrate some truly creative approaches to achieving these results. This year's selection board identified 3 national winners. 2 of these projects are in the community sector and 1 is in the policing sector, and I'm very pleased to hand back over to Chris to present the awards.